Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, I'm Marissa. We're drinking sparkling water because we're so fancy. And it's actually really hot outside right now. I live in Arizona if you guys don't know. But anyways, today's video I am sharing with you guys my secrets and my tips on how to spice up your Instagram, which poses are best to make you look good and all that stuff. So let's just jump right into the video. Let's just talk about it. Here's my Instagram. I kind of have like a little theme going on. It's kind of just like natural, bright whites, a little bit like on the moodier side, like for a theme. But I love taking photos of my outfits and all that stuff. So we're gonna go through everything today, kind of like how I edit and just how I pose and what poses work for me and tips and secrets to getting the perfect Instagram photos. So to begin is obviously the whole setup, like behind the camera. So if you don't have anyone to take photos for you, I have a friend who always takes my photos for me, my best friend, and sometimes though she works during the week, so I have to take my own photos. So I have a tripod that I just have like a little, I'll put it right here, a little thing for your phone that you can like spread apart and put your phone in. And then sometimes I'll use a clicker. Most of the time I just will put it on timer and adjust as needed. So my first tip is take your own Instagram photos because you can position the camera how you want on a tripod. It is great when you have someone to take your photos for you, but they don't always know the angles that you want, how low the camera needs to be or how you want it to be. So my first tip is just take your own Instagram photos because they'll come out the way that you want, how you want, and look really good. So like I said, I have a tripod that I just put my phone on or my camera, and I can position the tripod as high or low, to the right, to the left as needed, and just get that perfect angle that I'm looking for. You can kind of just like pose how you want and not feel so silly like in front of someone, which is key. Love that. My second tip is lighting. You really need to focus on the lighting. I think that taking photos not directly in the sun are best because the darker the photo, it's easier to bring up the exposure, bring up the brightness. But when a photo is too bright, it's really hard to edit to get the brightness to go down. So I think shooting in more shadier areas are key. My third tip for shooting Instagram photos is if I'm shooting by myself, I always shoot with the front camera. That way I can kind of see what I look like and make sure I'm like in position and in frame. So definitely shoot maybe with your front camera, or another tip is if a friend is taking your photo for you, have them hold up like a mirror to the phone. That way you can kind of see how you look while they're taking a photo from the back camera, or have them again hold the camera but have it on the front view and then just tell them to press the button. That way you can kind of like see how you look and all that. My fourth tip is all about poses. This is key. So I'm going to share with you guys some poses that I do that I think just add a little something to my Instagram, makes it more like aesthetic or more pleasing to look at, and a little bit like more exciting. But also these are poses that I do to make me look taller, look slimmer. I'm 5 foot, so anything that makes me look taller is key because some outfits I look so short in that I'm like, no. So some really good poses that I like to do is like the lean. So I will hold my hip, and I'll put photos up here for you guys to kind of reference, but I will cross my legs and will lean. That way it kind of like elongates my torso a little bit, makes me look a little bit longer, and when I cross my legs, it makes my legs also look very long as well. This is a very simple hack that I do in a lot of my photos just to make me look taller. It's key. Like you can even like lean up against a wall and do it as well, which is so cute, and it kind of just, like I said, elongates your torso and makes you look a little bit more like to do is I kind of just like move my arms around and have them snap the photos, just keep holding the button down and you just kind of keep moving. And I feel like a lot of movement when you like kind of do like this and that, it adds a little something to your Instagram photos. You know, there's some movement, you're not just like standing still. So that's a really big one that I like to do as well. And it's kind of more of like a candid photo almost. So I really love that. My signature pose is putting your hands just in front of your body and kind of just like looking away. I love the look away look and how it comes out in photos. Next one is putting your leg up. So you just kind of, if the camera's in front of you, you turn to the side and you kind of put your leg up a little bit and kind of look backwards, like to the side of where the camera is. Again, super cute, kind of gives it that more like candid photo, and it also looks super like girly and happy, which I really love. So another great pose is the walking pose. So sometimes this is a little awkward to do, but I'm gonna put in a clip here of a video that I took at my house. I actually took photos today of myself in my backyard, and this is how I get some of my walking photos. You kind of just like rock back and forth, like put a leg up, put the leg down to kind of mimic walking. But if someone is taking my photos, I'll do that, or I will have them stand a little bit far away and I'll walk towards them really slow, like kind of like a model walk. It's a very awkward walk. It doesn't look cute at all when someone's like actually watching you do it, but it makes the best walking photos. Again, super candid, and I'm doing it in this photo right here. And then I like kind of put my arms down and was like laughing as if, well, I was actually laughing because I looked so funny doing it and everyone was like staring. But it makes for the best walking photos if you're into the walking photos. My fifth tip for getting the right Instagram photos, and it kind of goes along with taking your own photos, is when you're taking your own photos, put it on video. So you can either do a timer like I said earlier, which is great, but sometimes if you want to get like continuous shots and not have to keep like pressing the button, is I put my camera on video and I just stand there, do my little poses, and then later on I'll go back, kind of pause it, skim through, screenshot the poses that I like and that I think look good, and then I'll go and edit them. So next tip is use props. Sometimes it's so awkward when you're taking Instagram photos and there's like nothing in your hands, like nothing for you to kind of like fiddle with or like play with. So I really like props, whether that's sunglasses, bags, you know, drinks, Starbucks drinks. Kind of gives your hands something to do and they don't just kind of like look all weird and awkward in the photo. So a lot of my photos will have like a Starbucks drink, some sunglasses in them, a purse, maybe I'm holding a bag. Kind of just gives you something to do, and again, makes your photos look a little bit more candid, a little bit more interesting to look at. And also if you're kind of shooting outfit photos, it's really nice to kind of incorporate those accessories, so that way people can recreate the look, or you can tag what your accessories are. My next tip for Instagram when shooting photos is always shoot test photos, whether that's if you're shooting by yourself or with a friend. Kind of go to that area, take a photo, just stand there and take a photo, see how the lighting is and see how you like it, because if you don't take test photos, I feel like some photos come out kind of bad. It's like you love how you look, but the quality is just not there, if that makes sense. So I always like to take test photos. I just stand there or have my friends stand there and I kind of just test out the lighting. Kind of goes back to shooting in like shadier areas, but sometimes when you shoot in shadier areas, there's sometimes different hues and stuff. So it's really nice to take test photos and kind of play around on your phone. So like when you go to the camera, you can kind of like click around little areas to see like the brightness and kind of get it right, and then you can lock it by just holding in your phone. So those are kind of like my tips and secrets on how I shoot Instagram photos. So let's get into like editing. I have so many videos on my channel, guys, of how I edit my Instagram photos, so I'll leave those all linked down below. But I kind of just wanted to show you on my phone just how I get the photos, like if I took a video. So I'm gonna screen record right here. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, screen recording. So I took some videos of my outfits. Let me find it. Hold on. Where is the... Okay. So I set up my tripod and so I just kind of took a video of me moving around, as you guys can see. So I'm just gonna, I pause it and I like to just kind of slowly go through and be like, kind of just see what I like, okay, that's cute. So I'm just gonna tap it, I'm gonna screenshot it, and then now I can edit it in Lightroom or Visco. So let's go on. Let's find a cute one. I also wasn't in frame in some of these. Well, I was, but I was like fixing my hair. Okay, I really like this one. So I'm gonna screenshot this. I'm gonna screenshot a few so that we can go and edit them and kind of see how we like them. Another pose I like to do is kind of like fix my pants. It's like you kind of like pull up your pants. Makes for really great photos as well. Camera roll. Here we go. Where are the things that I took screenshots of? Whatever. Okay, here's my favorites. Whoops. I just favorited this one. So I'm gonna edit this one first. Actually, let's just like upload them all. Let's see, screenshots. Okay. Let's add those in. Okay, so I'm gonna edit this photo right here. So first I play around. First I go into color and take away any yellow that I can. I don't like yellow in my photos. There isn't much yellow in this photo, which is nice. So I kind of play around with the colors first, you know. Kind of make myself look a little bit more tan. If there's any blue in the photo, like this photo has a little bit of blue, so I'm actually gonna take the blue out of my pants here so that we can emphasize the all white outfit. So here's like before. See how it's like all blue? I'm gonna take it out a little bit. As you can see, before, after. And then I go into the light. I feel like editing the colors first makes a really big difference and kind of helps with adjusting how you want the brightness and contrast and highlights and all that stuff. So that's just a tip that I like to do and that I like to use is just edit colors first. Okay, so then I'm gonna make the exposure just a little bit higher. I don't use contrast too much. Sometimes I will, but it's kind of like the last thing that I play with. Okay, highlights. Sometimes I go down, sometimes I go up. It really just depends on the photo, but I'm gonna go a little bit down on this. And then shadows. Again, I either sometimes will go down or I'll go up. Kind of just depends again on the photo. So for this photo, I kind of want it to be a little bit more brighter. Okay, sometimes I play around with the whites and the blacks. Sometimes I'll put all of it down to -100 for whites and then +100 for blacks, and it kind of gives it like a more brighter feel, but I don't feel like my Instagram is too bright like that. So maybe I'll just kind of do something like that. Okay, and then for effects, I don't play around too much with effects. Sometimes I will up the clarity just a tiny bit. Sometimes texture too. It just kind of depends on the photo, but I kind of want to make this a little bit more smoother. You can always add grain if you want to. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I add just a tiny bit, like you can't really notice it, but it adds a little something. Okay, and then sometimes I'll dehaze my photos, and it kind of just like gets all the like darkness out or brings darkness in. So I'm just gonna use a little bit of dehazing here. Okay, so then I'm gonna go back to color and I'm gonna play with the saturation. I'm gonna up the saturation just a bit, just to make myself look a little bit tanner. But it's kind of just personal preference. Like, you can play with the temperatures, you know. So I'm just gonna up. What do I want to do? Kind of want to up the temperature just a tiny bit, like 2 or 3 maybe. No, well, maybe like a 1. Okay, I'm also gonna fix the oranges because I'm not really happy with them. Okay, then I go into detail and I always sharpen my photo, like a lot. Not too much because then it's like way too sharpened, but I usually keep it between like 20 or 30. So let's see, 33 is good. Noise reduction I put up a little bit, kind of just gets all the noisiness in the background and stuff away, kind of just like smooths your photo out. And then I always do color noise as well. Okay, sometimes I put the optics on. I don't really know if it does too much, but I'm not gonna. And then I crop it to Instagram sizing, which is 4:5. And there we have it. You have the before here, and now you have the after. So I'm just gonna go and, I'm gonna export it to camera roll. And then what I love to do is I just hit copy settings, and I'll go over to this photo, and I'll hit paste. And sometimes it edits it perfectly. Other times you kind of have to go in and play around. Like, this looks a little bit too soft. So I'm gonna put noise reduction down. I'm gonna go to effects and take the texture off. Other than that, I think it looks pretty good. And then I'm gonna go to the next photo, and it kind of already, did it already crop it? I don't think it did. So I'm gonna hit 4:5, crop it, and I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna hit paste settings, but I'm actually gonna copy this one and hit paste. And there we go. Perfect. Crop it, 4:5. Okay, we're gonna export this one and export it. So I really like those. So then I'm gonna go into Unum here, and this is how I kind of plan out my feed and all that. So I kind of have some photos that I want to post. Okay, what the heck? But I'm just gonna upload one of them, so I'm just gonna upload this one. So you can see it's linked to my Instagram. I already posted this one with the shorts on. And then I kind of can just drag and place things how I want it to look. So I'm gonna get rid of this because I don't really want to post that. But you can do that. So we can, let's actually edit one more, like a different photo. I took a few photos today. Okay, let's edit this guy. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, paste the settings. Cue, okay, it's a little bit too bright though. Just a little bit. So you can play around with the color. Kind of add that blue back so my shorts don't look too washed out. Okay. I don't really, do I want green on this photo? No, I don't really want green. That's good. Okay, I think it's actually pretty good, this photo. Before, after. Okay, let's crop it to 4:5. Export. Okay, let's go back to Unum and let's add it in here. Okay, so now you can see. Now I can kind of play around with the photos, see how I like it. Maybe I don't want this coffee photo. Maybe I want this over here. And then I can shift them so I can see what it looks like, you know, next to stuff. But this is how I would kind of plan out my Instagram. These are the tips, tricks, and secrets that I use for my Instagram to get the perfect Instagram photos, the perfect outfit photos, and all the in between. So I hope you guys really enjoyed. I'll have all the videos I talked about linked down below, my Instagram, my socials. So go ahead and follow me, subscribe, give this video a big thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!